So I think there's a few challenges, standout challenges that leaders face when managing technical or creative teams. Understanding how to navigate the challenge of heavy workload and delivery deadlines. One of the things that's paramount for a lot of organisations, but particularly in tech and creatives, is the topic of burnout. And so managing the delivery of things, managing those workloads, whilst also ensuring that people are doing it sustainably. I think the second one is when you get technical experts working together and creatives, they're often very passionate about what they do, very passionate about their ideas and what they're working on. And this can sometimes create a bit of a challenge with sharing feedback, with collaborations, with experts working with experts. And sometimes what we experience is that people can start to really doubt themselves and that starts to have an impact on their creativity. And so, many people talk about imposter syndrome, and that's very much that thing of doubting my own abilities in a group of experts. And I think that's also a thing to be mindful of. And I think the final one is that for people who are high achievers, often self-care is very challenging. How does it fit into my day? How does it fit in with the other goals that I'm looking to achieve? So one of the challenges for leaders, I think, is also about how do you create a culture or a team environment where people can achieve and do the things that are important to them, but do it in a way that is healthy, do it in a way that is sustainable, and do it in a way that has a positive impact on the work. With leaders supporting workplace mental health, one of the things that I think is important for leaders to think about is how they can normalise the topic. I'm doing some research at the moment with anxiety in the workplace, and one of the common things that everybody so far who has participated has said is that they're very much aware of their mental health, but they don't feel able to disclose it at work or talk about it because they're worried about the perception or the impact that it may have. So I think for leaders, being able to create a space where it can be openly talked about, it can be normalised. And I think a really great way to do that is for leaders, where appropriate, to be willing to share their own experiences perhaps with their mental health. And I think also really being aware of what support is available, and understanding that mental health, well-being is not when it becomes a problem, that's the moment to tackle it, but really create that awareness around it through the culture, through the kind of day-to-day, and really helping people see that it is part of the day-to-day. In terms of personal development, the things that have the biggest impact are emotional regulation and emotional resilience. I think there's lots of demands on leaders to set direction, create vision, set strategy, deal with people in their teams, motivate, etc., take risks. And I think that a lot of that is wrapped up in how resilient and regulated they are. So I think working on self-awareness, working on understanding their own emotions, understanding how do they want to show up and how do they do that consistently is really important. One of the ways I think that leaders can build personal resilience is, of course, working with a coach, working with a therapist. I think beyond that, it's also really about spending time with good people, spending time with people that you can be open and vulnerable with your experiences and how you're feeling. I think understanding your emotions, why certain things land with you, why certain things don't, understanding your responses and reactions to things. And I think also understanding that our physical well-being has a huge impact on our mental well-being. So being mindful and proactive in thinking about what do you do for your physical well-being in terms of exercise and your diet, and how those two things combined really can have a big impact on your resilience levels.